Well, assuming that our party wins these elections, the decision of our party is that the old generation would retire over the course of the next term of parliament, and that I would oversee the retirement.
The succession. But what about yourself?
I will be one of those who would retire over the period of the next term.
When?
At the end of the next term.
Will these elections be free, fair and peaceful?
The government has put in place all the necessary checks, balances and mechanisms, rules, regulations to make sure that these elections are fair, free and peaceful. And to a certain extent, part of the opposition.
Are you suggesting that the coalition of Medrek is not intending the elections to be peaceful?
This grouping has refused to sign the code of conduct of the parties. That code of conduct, as you might have heard, was prepared by an international organization called IDEA, and it's best practice.
You didn't take on other parts of that best practice, did you? For instance, observers. You're not allowing Western diplomats, or indeed any diplomats, from going outside Addis Ababa during the election period. I
know that some diplomats in Addis are offended when they are told they cannot do that, but I am sure it's not best practice. It's not internationally accepted best practice.
At the moment, you only have a total of something like 170 EU observers and 80 AU observers for 44,000 polling stations.
That's always the case in elections. They do not have to cover every polling station to get a feel for what is happening.
The opposition argues it would sweep to power if the ruling party stopped intimidating and jailing its members. What do you say to that?
No independent observer has said, I have observed such and such acts of intimidation. No one. All of them report allegations of intimidation, and by some magic wand transform these allegations into facts.
There's already been violence ahead of the poll, hasn't there? Because Medrek are claiming that 2 of 6 people killed, murdered, are theirs, while your party says it has had 1 candidate killed and a policeman murdered.
All of this violence is regrettable, but compared to the size of the country and compared to the intensity of the elections, I don't think this is unheard of.